Hey, what's up turtles? Krik here with Black Owl Outdoors. I recently got a new pot and I want to take a look at it today, go over its specs and things I do and don't like about this design and style. So this is the 4Dog Stove Company 1.1 liter or 5 cup Bushpot, and it's hard anodized aluminum. You can see that gray color as opposed to just regular non-anodized aluminum up top here for the lid and butterfly handles. And on their website, you can purchase this for $30 with free shipping in the US. And there is an actual feature or an additional purchase you can make for a bail system on this. And I don't know, I must have spaced out whenever I was buying this because I would have bought the bail system. It's $4 if you buy it with the pot at the same time, non-mounted. If you want them to mount it, it's an extra $8. But if you buy it separately, as a separate purchase from the pot, it's $10. So in hindsight, I probably should have bought it, and I still might. As already mentioned, there's butterfly handles that rest on the side of the pot if you want to nest this inside a larger container. Open up to grab it. Nice and tight, I like that right now. Just 2 rivets on there. These rivets will become important when I look on the inside of the pot. There's a nice pour spout right here, so we're not dropping all our liquids or food when we need to transfer liquid from the container. And on top of the lid, you have this little, it's not a D ring, it's a different shape than D, but it's nice that it's sort of bent, so when you set it on this side, you can get a stick or something underneath that if it's on the fire. And this is a very tight fitting lid on this pot, and I have fuel and stuff in here, which I will show in a minute. And there is a discussion, a preference for loose fitting versus tight fitting lids on cooking pots, and I will talk about that towards the end. Now I want to show you what's on the inside. What I'm carrying right now is more of my backpack setup. So I have a kerchief that's holding everything. It's a little top of canister backpacking stove. Just putting a lighter in there too because the igniter on the stove has since stopped working, which I expected it to, but never a bad thing to have extra lighters floating around anyways. The fuel for that stove, this is the bigger size, over 8 ounces, the isopropyl butane mix. So this is non-graduated, meaning there's no measurements on the inside of this pot, but it really doesn't need it at all. This is only a 5 cups or 1.1 liters. And generally, most of the things I do, you can eyeball 2 cups, 4 cups. 2 cups sit about a ½ inch below that bottom rivet, and 4 cups sit basically right level with the top one, so it's pretty easy to guess volume of liquid inside here. This is really my first time I'm gonna intentionally use aluminum more than I already have, because I've always been a fan of stainless for my cookware because better heat transfer compared to aluminum, and it's a little bit heavier. Stainless is a little bit heavier than aluminum, and this only weighs about 6.8 ounces. The durability is better with stainless, like I said, so I'm gonna actively use this aluminum, anodized aluminum, just to see if my thoughts change on how I feel about using aluminum for cookware. There's gonna be more videos involving this pot and sort of pot theory. So I wanna circle back around to this concept of tight fitting lid versus loose fitting lid on cookware. I don't think there is ultimately one better than the other, but here's why I sort of like a tight fitting lid. There's really not too much moving around in there because the lid's on tight, and if I put a little bit of pressure with the contents inside as I seal that lid, it's really not going to be moving around at all in my pack, which I probably will make a stuff sack for this, but I don't need a bag to keep it all tight because the lid is fitting on there nice and snug. When you're cooking, a tight fitting lid really isn't a feature you want to really use because say I'm boiling water in this to make pasta or rice or something, and my intention is to boil the water and then add things inside of it, not just take the pot right off the heat source once the water's boiled, is that imagine being a hot liquid in there. You really don't want to wrestle with a tight fitting lid, right? So what I did prior to doing this video is I did a little boil test with 2 cups of water in this using the fuel in this backpacking stove. And with the lid nice and tight on here in my garage for a controlled environment, it took 2 minutes and 30 seconds to bring 2 cups of water to a rolling boil with the lid fitting tight. Oh, 2 minutes, 15 seconds, excuse me, with the tight fitting lid. And then to test that again, what I did was just rest the lid, and it's kind of not really doing it because of the kerchief, but I just rested the lid and there's still a decent amount of seal. And with just the lid resting on the pot, it took 2 minutes and 30 seconds to boil 2 cups of water. So it only took 15 seconds longer to boil the same amount of water with just the lid resting on the top as opposed to pressed down tight. Like I said, I like the option of having the lid fitting tight. Just like I said, in the pack, keeping everything tight inside here. There's potentially no rattle when it's in your pack. I mean, this might annoy me. I would probably make sure this was tight because hiking all day with something rattling in your bag is enough to drive you crazy. I mentioned the bail accessory earlier, and I think it's a good idea to purchase that. And it's not a make or break that this doesn't come with a bail. I like that there's an option, but I think it would be nice to have the bail on there because these handles really don't protrude far from the pot. So if your heat source is coming up here, a lot of that excess heat that's rolling up the side of the container, these are gonna get pretty hot. So discussion time, and I'd really appreciate if you could leave a comment below letting me know, what do you think the pros and cons are of using stainless, titanium, or aluminum for your cookware? And I have my own thoughts, and I'm gonna go more into sort of compare and contrast metal or alloy types for cookware, actual design features of pots, sort of shape and that. But I'm really interested to hear what your experiences have taught you. If you like the video, please give us the thumbs up. It really helps us on YouTube, and stay tuned to the next video. This is Krik with Black Owl Outdoors. Peace out, turtles.